Well, we're ready for the Power Smoothie, and right here I've got some filtered water in this Vitamix, and a Vitamix is the Mercedes-Benz of blenders. If you could all afford one, I highly recommend it. It makes everything so creamy and so smooth. I can't say enough about it. So our first ingredient is blueberries and figs, and any kind of blueberry, blue-colored berry will do, whether it's a blueberry, a blackberry, a fig. And why you use them, these berries, is they're really high in antioxidants. So I take a handful, quarter cup, half a cup. Fresh berries are obviously the best, but if you can't get fresh, then frozen will do. I use figs, it adds a little bit more sweetness to the smoothie. So I just take off the stems and I just sort of squeeze it a little bit and put it in there. My next ingredient, I like raspberries. They have antioxidants in them as well. Not quite as many as blueberries, but still they're beneficial. And of course this is live food, so a handful of those. Goji berries. Now goji berries come from the Himalayas, and the Tibetan monks and yogis, when they would go into the mountains for 6 months or a year and meditate, they literally lived on goji berries. Goji berries are really high in beta-carotene. They're a super dense nutrient food. They do have an outer coating on it that makes it a little bitter, so I highly recommend you rinse them. And if you rehydrate them, put them in water, they plump up to something like a grape. So I just use just a handful of goji berries. Next on my list are sprouted nuts. I've got pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, and almonds. And nuts, all kinds of nuts. It doesn't matter whether it's pine nuts, almonds, cashews, pecans. They all have an outer coating on it, which makes it hard to digest. So it's really important that you put them in water and soak them for 5 to 6 hours, and then you drain it and you rinse that off, and then you have to keep it refrigerated. So don't buy dry roasted or salted nuts, because they really have no value for you as much as the raw nuts do. So here I'm going to take a couple of tablespoons of nuts. They're high in your omega oils, which are essential. Next ingredient is flaxseed. Now flaxseed, when it's not ground, will just pass right through you, so you don't get the benefit from it. So I use a coffee grinder and I grind them, and once they're ground, then you reap the benefits, and it contains fiber. So I've already pre-ground them, and I just throw them into my blender here. The next ingredient is hemp protein. Now, these are the hemp hearts. That means it's the hemp protein before it's ground, and it's a distant cousin of the hemp that you smoke, so don't worry. And hemp protein, why this is so important is it contains more protein amino acids than milk, dairy, or fish. So 4 tablespoons of that is equivalent to your daily intake of protein every day. So I usually put in a good heaping 4 or 5 tablespoons. And it has a bit of a nutty taste to it, and it's really quite lovely. You can sprinkle it on your soups, on your salads, put it in your smoothie, put it in cookies, whatever. The next ingredient I use is spirulina. Spirulina is really a dense, high-quality natural food, and it's very green in color. I alternate. One month I'll do spirulina, another month I'll do chlorella. So I'll take a tablespoon of this, or half a tablespoon, and I'll put that into my blender drink again. And then I use avocado and mango because it makes your food a little more palatable. And how you slice an avocado easily, so you can use it for salads. You know, when you open an avocado and you want to take it out and slice it for your salad, very often it's very difficult to get out the nice pieces. So what I do is I crisscross. I cut the avocado one way and then I crisscross the other way, so I'm getting little boxes. You don't have to do this for the smoothie because it's all going to be blended, but just for future reference when you're doing a salad. And so now it's all cubed. So I'm going to put this half avocado in my smoothie, and depending on the size of the avocado, if it's a really big avocado, I would only use 1/3 of it. Your mango is the most consumed food in the planet, and there is a pit in it that runs the length of it, and it's quite narrow, and the easiest way to get at it is you can feel where the pit is in the middle, so just cut just slightly off center, and you'll see this is where the pit is. And so I'm going to use a spoon to scrape it out rather than to peel the avocado. And the avocado, the reason I put that in here is it sweetens the drink and it makes it just taste a little bit better. Next, I add is kale, and the reason I add kale is considered a green vegetable. Actually, it's a vegetable, but it's considered a green. And greens are classified on their own. The greens include spinach, kale, Swiss chard, arugula, lamb's mash, and they are so nutrient dense. If you rotated eating the green vegetables on a weekly basis, you would get more than adequate, all the essential vitamins and minerals that you need. So I've already taken the thick stem out of the kale, and so I've just cut it up, and I usually add a couple of tablespoons of kale to my smoothie. And believe me, the taste will be masked with all the berries and in the mango. Then next, I'm going to add a banana. The riper the banana, the better. You need to eat foods that are alkalizing, and fruits and vegetables in their natural state are alkalizing. A banana, if it's ripe, is alkaline, which you need for good health. And if it's not ripe, it's acidic. Now, bananas are a high glycemic food, so if you're worried about your blood sugar, I wouldn't recommend putting a whole banana in, but the banana will sustain you way into your lunch hour, so you won't snack in between. Bananas, 2 bananas are equal to working out strenuously for 90 minutes. It's good for PMS, it's good for depression, it's good for high blood pressure. It contains potassium and very little sugar. So I put the whole banana in, and I just cut it up into, or break it up into smaller pieces. And that is it. So I've got my blueberries and figs, then I added raspberries, goji berries, flax seeds, but I ground it in my grinder, sprouted nuts, the hemp protein, the spirulina, half of an avocado, half of a mango, up to 2 cups of your favorite green. And kale is really high in calcium. That's why I favor the kale. But I do rotate my greens on a, if not daily basis, then every 2 or 3 days I will add a different kind of green. And don't forget your friendly banana. Then I put my lid on with this plunger. Make sure it's secure so it doesn't spray all the walls, which I've done several times. I wore more than I drank. And turn it on. And we're ready. So this is 2 cups of water, and I make this amount, and it's my breakfast. So I drink it over the period of maybe half an hour or so, or you can spread it out over 3 or 4 hours. So here is our super duper power smoothie loaded with living food, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. And I challenge you to try this. You'd think maybe a green drink isn't all that appealing, but once you try it and taste it, you'll be sold on it. I could very easily live on this, and forget the mustache that they advertise with milk. This is a smoothie mustache. To your good health.